This one simple fix can make any basic running shoe feel a little more super. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a breakdown and review on these bad boys right here. This is Superfeet's brand new insole. Superfeet is an OG in the insole game, established way back in 1977 and still current to today. You see these all over all kinds of shoe stores or sneaker retailers, which is where you'll be able to find stuff just like this for you to be able to touch, feel, and try on in store. But this is their brand new insole. It's been dubbed the Run Pacer Elite, and basically it is packed full of technology, including a full-length carbon plate, which is really cool. And the goal behind this insole is to, again, transform any running shoe into a super shoe. However, if you already have a super shoe, and what I mean by super shoe is a shoe with a carbon plate or a carbon spring plate within it, this is not supposed to be used in conjunction with that. This is supposed to transform regular running shoes into those types of shoes, because if you put too much of this rigidness inside of your runners, you're just going to end up with a really stiff, rigid ride, which is not good for anybody. It's not good for your foot, it's not good for the shoe, it's not good for your run. But if you don't want to spend $250 plus on a super runner, then you can grab this and grab an affordable runner and slap it in there, and you should be good to go. Now, like I said, this thing is packed full of technology, which is really awesome, especially for its price. Retail is going to be just below $100, and they will be available in unisex sizes. I will say, in terms of sizing, that's probably their only thing to keep in mind. This is the insole as it comes, and then this is the insole that I have transformed them to be. So you're going to end up having to take one of your other insoles of whatever your favorite current running shoe is, and basically you're going to take out the stock insole, and then you're going to put it directly on top. You're going to make sure that it fits perfectly, by the way, because this is the part that you don't want to mess up on. These are expensive insoles and you only get one shot at it. Then you're going to take a very fine Sharpie and just kind of trace around the edging. Get some really sharp scissors, and once you're done, you should have a perfect replica of the original stock insole, but now it's been superfied, so this is sick. Now, the lining used on top is a moisture wicking material. This is not only to keep the footbed as dry as possible, but also to reduce odor, because once you start introducing moisture into all of that space, you're gonna get some funky stuff growing, and this is gonna help you out with that. Now, when you flip this guy around, you're gonna notice that there is a dual layered system of foam. There's gonna be a white top layer and then a green and pebbly looking bottom layer. Now, the bottom layer is the Super Rev beads. It's basically a supercritical MTPU bead that are matrixed together with high rebound polyurethane. So all of the green material, high rebound polyurethane, super comfortable, by the way. And then, in case you're wondering what an MTPU bead is, it is very similar to an ETPU bead, but just slightly altered. So MTPU is essentially a microcellular TPU foam. It's produced using thermoplastic polyurethane, which is the TPU part. And that's the composition with clean supercritical carbon dioxide as the blowing agent to form a large number of microcells within its matrix. And just in case you're confused, that basically means that the way that they made everything is going to enhance the thermoplastic polyurethane in ways to where it makes it feel a little bit more bouncy, but still a little bit dense. That way it lasts longer and provides comfort underfoot. Now, the second layer that sits directly underneath your foot and in between the MTPU beads is essentially another supercritical layer of foam. It's roughly 2 millimeters thick. And basically, much like the foam that's underneath it, it's just a really high rebound foam. It increases energy levels, but remains super durable while doing so. So essentially what you're doing is replacing the stock insole, like this thing, which is an open-celled foam. It's very floppy. It molds and contours to your foot really easily, but that's its only real benefit. And what you're gonna do is be replacing that with something that's extra durable, super high rebound, and it's just gonna make a much more comfortable ride for a longer ride. So it's gonna last a hell of a lot longer than this thing. Now, placed on the bottom, Superfeet partnered with the industry leader in flexible carbon fiber composites, Carbitex, to develop this innovative carbon fiber plate that runs full length from heel to toe. But on top of that, the function aspect of it is just really interesting. So it's actually really flexible and lightweight when you bend it in ways that your foot is not typically gonna go. Like, you don't really do this unless maybe you're a ballerina or something, but even then, like, you are supposed to stay pretty rigid. But either way, it's a very flexible plate until you actually move it in the direction of your motion. So once you start placing some force on this thing during your runs, it's essentially gonna stiffen up and then spring back into place, offering 39% more responsive than your standard sock liner compared to this thing. So like, this is the original one, and you You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a really cool insole. It features a lot of performance in a very small package. And again, if you're wearing a shoe that doesn't have anything like this within it, like say my Pegasus 41, or even the next step up, which was the Pegasus Plus. That was the one with the Zoom X. Zoom X is like a really soft foam. An insole like this would be perfect with that because it's going to add some rigidity and stiffness to it that is much needed. That way you don't get foot fatigue throughout your run. And it's also going to like create that super shoe type of feel underfoot. I did try these things out just casually, and you don't notice it a ton. You do notice a little bit of extra stiffness from the carbon plate, but you definitely notice the extra cushion that you get with the 2-layered foam system. One of the other things that I noticed is just the heel fit. It does slightly elevate your heel a little bit, not to the point to where like I felt like I was popping out of my shoes, but just enough to notice. That would probably be the one thing that you have to get used to besides just the carbon plate itself. Once you start rolling in motion though, that's when you're going to start feeling this thing. So this is again really meant for running, not like idle casual walks and stuff like that, like stuff that I go on like every morning. Would I use something like this in a basketball shoe? It really would depend on the shoe itself. Like the running aspect, you're not supposed to really put something like this inside of a shoe or a piece of footwear that already has something like it inside of it. So if there's a shoe that you have that does not feature something like this, then that would probably be the best basketball option for it. So the shoes that I'm kind of talking about are either shoes that have absolutely no plates whatsoever, that it does include those little rectangle bars, or if it is a shoe that does feature the rectangle shank or a isolated midfoot shank. So for example, a shoe like this is the Adidas AE1. This has a full-length X-plate TPU based spring plate in here. This I would not put with this. Now this is another example. This is the tooling for an Air Jordan 12. And when you take off the outsole here, you can see that they have a pretty hefty carbon fiber plate. So again, I probably would not pair these two together. That's too much carbon. However, the Air Jordan 10 has absolutely nothing in there, so putting one of these bad boys in it is gonna be awesome. A Kobe 6, such as a Kobe 6 Pro, would also be a great option as well. Very isolated midfoot shank, so it does not go throughout the footbed, and this is going to be a nice pairing. So again, the pros, dual layered foam system, really comfortable and long lasting underfoot. Forward momentum carbon spring plate, so you're gonna enhance your ride on shoes that don't feature anything like this. Moisture wicking top liner, and it has a fairly accommodating fit. They come already kind of wide, so if you wear wide base shoes, you're gonna be good to go. But if you needed to, again, you can trace and trim. That way it'll fit in whatever trainer or runner that you're actually wearing. If you were interested in trying out the Superfeet Run Pacer Elite, all you gotta do is click the link down below in our description box. It'll send you over to Superfeet's website where you can check it all out. They have plenty of options, by the way, so if this is something that you're maybe not interested in but you needed something else, they have a ton of options. Like I said before, Superfeet is one of the OGs in the game, around since 1977. They don't play around. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. If you've happened to try this guy out, let me know down below in the comment section what you think about them, or maybe you're just interested in trying them out and you're just really intrigued. Either way, sound off below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.